Good morning, Abraham.
It is.
I'm very eager today. I'm excited to talk with you. I'm having lots of happy results in my world these days, and one in specific inspires the topic I want to discuss. In the last 3 to 4 weeks, I've reduced my insulin dosage by almost 25%, and I'm thrilled. I'm just more comfortable in my skin, is all that I can attribute it to in very pragmatic ways.
Well, when you are comfortable in your skin, what that means is you have lowered your resistance. And when you reduce your resistance, you increase your allowance. And when you increase your allowance to what? Your source energy, then that broader view that we were talking about that the squirrel has, that knows everything about your body, everything about the chemical factory, is then allowed in an untethered way to assist your body to come into alignment. Yes.
Yes, it's pure joy for
Yes.
me. And what I'd like to talk about from this new perspective of being more relaxed, more easy, and joyful in my being is an experience that happened actually 20 years ago, but it's been pivotal to me, and I feel as though I'm ready to shift some thoughts that I've had about it and come into even more alignment with myself. So I was in a high-speed car accident, and I was dead for just a brief time. I was dead to the people in this world, but I was very much awake and alive and saw all kinds of sparkling lights everywhere, and they all had a voice, but it sounded like one voice that was singing to me that everything had changed and to wait and see. And when I came back into my physical body, I had insulin-dependent diabetes and a lot of physical trauma, head injury and torn muscles, no broken bones, but a fair road of recovery in front of me, and indeed everything had changed. The structures in my life began dissolving. The people around me at that time commented to me that they thought I was a walk-in, that I wasn't the same person anymore. And that didn't have any relevance for me, except for that they were saying that I'd changed. I did know that non-physical was more accessible to me. I could translate non-physical much better. At the time, I interpreted the fact that I'd come back with insulin-dependent diabetes to mean that I was consciously needing to choose life, that I had been ambivalent before, and that at that point I wasn't taking responsibility for coming back. I felt like I'd been brought back, sent back, and that I was sent back with a daily instrument to make me intentional and conscious. And over the years, my understanding of that has shifted, and what has come to me most recently, and what I'd like to discuss with you is, well, I'd like to hear what you have to say about everything I'm bringing up, but what has come to me more recently is that I was in my master's program at the time that it happened, and I was doing my thesis in the creative process, the power of the mind to create. And I was writing affirmations probably an hour a day as part of my thesis exercise. And I was living in a lot of emotional contrast and had for all of my life up until that point. So my desire body was summoning with a lot of tension. And what I think might have actually happened is, well, I know now that I summoned an experience that was going to move me in spite of the tension that I had. But I'm wondering if I skipped tracks, like moved from one train that had a momentum in one direction and put myself in a new momentum, and that the physical constructs that I brought back with me were of the process of me now aligning my physical body with the new vibration that I was putting myself in momentum with. Does that make sense?
It does, and it is something like that. You understand that when you ask, it is always given. And so you had been moving along, you were working in this educational process, you were, through your own life experience, wanting to understand how it all works. And you had summoned, as you just said to us, huge, well-defined, clearly focused, powerful desire that you were nowhere near a vibrational match to. When you drive your car 500 miles an hour and you hit a tree, it's a bigger problem than if you were going 2 miles an hour and you hit the tree. So, as you had goosed up through the power of your educational process and the desire that you'd been gathering for some time, your desire factor, but you did not know anything about what to do with the allowing factor, then the ensuing disruptive experience, sort of a culmination of those contrasting energies, occurred. Now, immediately, everything about your life changed in that because of your physical incapacitation, you temporarily had to stop doing all of those things that you had been doing. People who had been dependent upon you had to stop being dependent upon you. Everything about your experience had to shift. And so you were, in a sense, forced by your physical incapacitation into the art of allowing. So what you had been asking for some time was now being more received by you because everything about your current experience you had to begin approaching differently. Now, as with most people in situations like that, the alignment does not last permanently because your quest is to rehabilitate and get your life back to normal as quickly as you can. And in this sense, back to normal meant back into my usual state of resisting. You see?
Yes.
And so that's what began to happen until 20 years later as you were coming consciously into the awareness of how to adjust your vibration. In a sense, it's a sort of quantum leaping. As your friends talk to you about believing that you had a walk-in, what we want you to realize is what that always is everyone has this connection to this powerful source energy. But most people have developed thoughts and habits along their physical trail that have been resisting massively that connection. And when something happens that causes you to stop temporarily resisting that connection, you allow the connection and then they say, oh man, somebody's walked into you. When nobody new walked in, you just let who had been walking in all along walk in more because your resistance became less, you see. We're offering some words that we think can be used to everyone's advantage. As you say, comfortable in my skin. Now, everybody knows what that means. You all may have used words like that before. Or you may use words that mean the opposite of it, like it made my hair stand on end, or it gave me prickles, or I feel uneasy, or I feel antsy. In other words, you know that comfortable in your skin feeling, and you know that not comfortable in your skin feeling.
Right.
And we want to point out to you something that is so important, is that feeling comfortable in my skin is about the alignment of the current that is within me. It doesn't have anything to do with what anybody else is doing. It's only about the alignment within me. So what most people do who want to be comfortable in their skin is through a process of elimination, they eliminate experiences that make them uncomfortable. And in the process, they live shallow, lonely lives. Because as they look out into the outer world and see all those things that make them uncomfortable, they get more and more guarded and more specific about where they spend their time or who they spend their time with. And it's a sort of entrapment that is not pleasant. Where if you take the idea of being comfortable in your skin to the fullest extent and understand that what it's talking about is allowing alignment with Source, now you can make yourself comfortable wherever you go. The ultimate getting comfortable in my skin means the ultimate aligning with who I really am, means the ultimate art of allowing, which you could translate into the path of least resistance. Now, the path of least resistance means I want to be comfortable in my skin now. It means whatever I'm thinking about now that is keeping me not comfortable in my skin, I've got to find a way right now of thinking about it in a way that will make me right now more comfortable in my skin. Exactly. It doesn't mean I have to change my style of living. It doesn't mean I have to change where I'm working or who I'm living with. It only means I have to find a way out for me mentally. It's sort of like, and this is a negative analogy, but we want to use it because we really want to bluntly get this point across. It's like being trapped in a mine where you know there's only so much oxygen. And you're breathing pretty comfortably at first, and as the oxygen starts to be more scarce, now you're not really thinking so much about anything except finding another pocket of air. So you're sort of hacking into the next cavity, and as you do, you open up to a whole new room of air. Now, you're not out of the mine, but you can breathe more easily for a while. And that's what the path of least resistance is. We don't want you to ever think that you're going to get all the way out to where you're wanting to go right here in this one thought session. But you certainly can think your way into a new pocket of air or into some more relief. And that's what the path of least resistance is. So, the thing that makes this such a valuable conversation is you know what comfortable in your skin feels like, and you know what uncomfortable in your skin feels like. In other words, you're talking about really subtle vibrations. And so when you feel uncomfortable in your skin, what you want to do is talk yourself into being comfortable in your skin. You're not trying to figure out the perfect action. You're trying to figure out the perfect alignment that allows the well-being. The universe will figure out how to make it happen. You just got to line up with it, you see. When people think about the path of least resistance, they think it means, should I stay with this man that I'm married to, or shall I leave this man that I'm married to? And we say, boy, those are some choices. That's really, really big. We don't want you to think of the path of least resistance in terms of action. We want you to think of the path of least resistance in terms of which thought will make me more comfortable in my skin right now. Which thought will make me more comfortable in my skin right now? And if you will follow the path of what makes you more comfortable in your skin right now, that quest for feeling more comfortable in your skin will lead you right out of the cave, right back out into the light.
Right.
Every single time. You just can't need to take such giant steps to do it, you see.
Exactly. That one does it for me.
Yes.
That takes me right there. Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed. You get to contemplate and define specifically, and you tell the universe. Now, you're not different from the squirrel in that regard either, because the squirrel tells the universe, I want to eat. I always want to have enough food. The squirrel's preference is, I feel better when I'm full. So the squirrel is emitting preference just like you are. You are just emitting more fine-tuned preference. But it does not matter how specific you are. Source energy hears every preference that you utter and then joyously guides you toward thought, word, and deed in every moment of your conscious awake state in order to assist you in the achieving of what you want. So really what we're talking about is finding ways to get in sync with that broader flow. Now, if you are a physical human who is determined to prove your worthiness and separateness from this greater, broader source energy, then you're not going to be very happy in this process that we are offering here, because the process that we are offering says you're already worthy, there's nothing to be proven. You're already blessed, there is nothing to be proven. You are creative genius here wanting the joyous experience of expansion. There are many humans who think that they are separate from that source, who want in their separateness to prove their worthiness. Oh, what a trap. Because the very worthiness that they seek is connected to the source that is them. So you cannot separate from who you are and achieve it. You cannot separate from who you are anyway. Not really. You can pinch yourself off from it pretty good and feel lousy. But it's always there for you in any change of thought. So today we will be talking about endless ways that you can change the vibration of your now in order to line up with the source that is you. And when you do that, Well-being is your experience.